Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Coastal Cottage as we try to rebuild the Commonwealth one settlement at a time. If I recall correctly, we have finished the bar and clinic. We have finished the house and the drug lab below the house, and we have finished the marketplace in the field on the far side of the house. We have security stations on both ends of the marketplace. Well, we have the security station here and the one at the top of the garage. The only thing we have left to do here before we can depart is some kind of security at this front entrance area. And then we are going off to I don't know where. I'll figure it out when I do, but we've got another settlement to build somewhere. So today is going to be a split between finishing here and going there, I think. Brookie, good to see you. Barbarian, I hope that your Saturday has been outstanding, sir. Well, if I am in some small way making your lockdown any better, Brookie, then I am achieving my strongest goals. Because it just seems horribly unfair that so many people are unable to have a fairly normal life. And in all honesty, I'm kind of a shut-in type myself. I am not somebody who likes to go out and socialize. Nobody has ever tried to stop me from taking my dog for a walk, which is about the only thing that I would be doing more often if it weren't for the shutdowns. But if it makes it easier on you guys, my friends, to have something to watch, I am happy. I'm ecstatic to be part of that. Let me make sure this is the gate I think it is. It is, and when it's open, it is not going to impact anything, so now I can sink it just a little bit lower. It's almost never going to actually be closed anyway, because you know how the settlers and the traders are just going to walk up and open it and leave it that way. But it's worth putting the effort in at any rate. I think I'm going to come off at an angle this way and try and move my way up the hill with only by the top of the hill I only want a little bit over waist high, you know, like maybe the picket fence, and then around to here. Still don't know what to do with this boat. Still want to do something with it though. Maybe we'll be a little higher than a picket fence on that way. And on this side, I really only have to get around to this rock face here, because from below you would not be able to climb up this rock. And then this turret. I should turn surface snap back on. I should turn surface snap back off because this rock doesn't exist as far as the game is concerned as solid surfaces go. Groucho, good to see you, sir. I hope Saturday is treating you well in the North Country. Oh, I had an idea. Is that wide enough to... not quite get to the end, but... these are better suited for... let's see. Well, that doesn't get to the edge either. So I'm going to be putting something there anyway. If I do it with this one, I am giving myself a access way to do repairs on that turret. And we all know with it buried like that, you can't walk through it anyway. Yep. Soul Dweller. Good to see you. Groucho, I heard that you're getting some snow coming up here shortly. Is that something you're buckling down for, or is that just a rumor I heard from my family in New Hampshire? So every now and then they like to tease me that I don't get snow anymore. Now, in theory, somebody who is not being shot at could clamber over this little fence with a toolbox and repair this if necessary. Now the only thing we need to do is find something that will block that convincingly. I'll put some thought into that. More snow. It's just what Groucho was hoping for this week. Well, you know, like I said, my brother and his kids like to pick on me for the lack of snow that I get, because they think that I miss it. And in some aspects I do. But, they're all up at the family vacation cabin up near Lake Winnipesaukee, so they may be getting different weather than you anyway. That chunky guy just doesn't fit right there. And like I said, if we do this, try and match the height of the top of the gate on that one. And then do my best to not repeat a single pattern, but step it up just a little bit on each successive wall along the border. It will be too high to jump over. And that's my goal, is the ground should be just... Now, this guy is a little bit easier to place. I'm being caught probably on that boat that I let... No, not the boat, on the container. I don't need that container for anything. But leaving it here will do what for me? I don't know. It's not actually in the way of anything if I stand on it. Well, Groucho, nobody knows how to drive. When I lived in Georgia, a place where you get heavy rains as a regular event 4 times a month, you'd think that the rains were actually flaming pieces of debris raining down from the heavens on these people every time we had a storm. It's flippin' ridiculous how terrible the drivers got. And they most of them lived there all their lives. Although I will give them the one concession that a portion of them are military transplants and therefore may not have been familiar with their environment. But you know how things go. If you drive into Boston, using a turn signal is a sign of weakness. You drive into Manhattan, and the fact that you're physically there won't stop somebody from trying to occupy your lane. Now that the ground is somewhat level, it's a little bit easier to maintain a consistent height. Just gotta get around to this rock wall. Play with the controller, Rob. When I was down in New York City, I was on Long Island. I lived on Long Island right after high school. I was originally born on Long Island, so I had initially gone back. I am out of wood again. That's just not realistic. Because I know that the supply route's not dead. I don't need this crap fence, though. I went back to, try and make some money for college and, basically enjoy another year or two with the guys I grew up with, as opposed to the last few years I spent in upstate New York. And, the company I worked for used to have me drive into New York City once a week in my own car. And every week I told them, you guys don't pay me enough for this crap. And I finally had enough when, and this wasn't even me, it was a friend of mine used a car I had just bought to run in to sign some class paperwork for his schooling. And he just got out of Manhattan and ran out of gas, and I warned him that the gas gauge didn't work and that he needed to put gas in before he got into the city. Did he listen? Nah. So what ended up happening with that is he walked, I think he said it was about 250 feet with my gas can to go get gas. Filled up a 2-gallon gas can, and by the time he got back to the car was on blocks, the wheels were gone, the trunk lid and hood were gone, as was the steering wheel and the bucket seats. And I swear, if I was ever a race car driver, I would be looking for a pit crew in Queens, because that's the only place I've ever seen somebody strip a car that quickly. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to assume that the peoples of the Commonwealth, pardon me, will accept that as their defensive position here. Didn't I leave this off? I could have sworn I left this off. It's got to be off, because there's only one person here, and that person is the provisioner, who is not really here. Jules, good to see you. Hope your weekend is going well. Slacker, welcome aboard. Which one is the tool chests in? Is it this one? Probably not. Nope. It's this one. All the way at the end. Yeah, you don't want to get on the wrong train in New York. It's an adventure that you weren't prepared for. If y'all could pardon me one moment, my lovely wife has come in to say hello to me. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, the city in the early 2000s was a vastly different place than it is now. Um, for good or bad. I mean, there were a lot of bad things going on at the time, but there was also a sense of community that I hadn't seen in New York City for quite a while prior to that. So it was somewhat endearing to me and my family. We really liked the way that was working at that time. It's a shame that things did not continue, but que sera, sera. I need a wider piece of wall. And I also need more wood. What the heck is that thing? Pieces I don't recognize for 1,000, Alex. Well, that's a condition most New Yorkers have. Even if you didn't have it getting there, you would have shortly after. Okay, so back to my original question. What the heck is this thing at the end? I don't think we need a siege tower here. Although it's quite interesting. Now I'm going to have to come up with a settlement plan for somewhere that uses that. Maybe the other junk walls have a wider piece. They certainly have some different pieces. And that should do that. And it does not like the fact I'm trying to go right across the green line with it. Oh, naturally I didn't place that one correctly to start with, so the... Get it, match it up. There it is. And that should cover everything on this approach. You're going to have the guard up there who, if somebody managed to sneak around that, he has a good shot at him. And of course it's dark again. Why did I choose an hour? Soul Dweller, that is a super convenient way to buy resources, and I don't think I would be anywhere near as happy building without it. There is a cheat menu in it as well where I can just take the resources, but there's only so far I'm willing to cheat. So we've got our wall stitched together. Yeah, I think that's well put together. That's probably the way the gate's gonna be all the time anyway. I'm going to switch this off. And now on, I should hear a recruitment beacon, right? But I am not hearing a recruitment beacon.
Attention Commonwealth residents. Are you looking for a safe place to settle? Home in on these coordinates. If you're willing to work hard, you can make the Commonwealth a better place.
Thanks, Jules. Alright, I don't want to listen to that anymore. So we've got our secured entrance. We have our house. We have our bar and clinic. And we have our marketplace around the back of the house. We have the clandestine chem lab beneath the house. And as much as I thought that I might be done at the end of last week, I am stating emphatically we are done as of now. We have one turret right here covering this side and that one over there. I don't how far out does the build border go over here? It does go over to here, so I could give them that one last turret for added security. And we will call this the completed coastal cottage. Jet Jaguar, good to see you. Sorry to see you go, Soul Dweller. Hope that you're having a good day. Now it's time to decide what our next location is going to be. The Kingsport Lighthouse I am not prepared for. Croup Manor I would prefer not to do this week. Nordhagen's a pain in the butt. Sanctuary, or Spectacle is already underway by Sardeliak, and I have zero ideas other than what he's already done there. We do have Murkwater discovered, and we do have Egret Tours. Jamaica Plain is cleared. Oberlin, yeah. I have no intention of doing anything with Grey Garden. They are robots. They can stay robots for all of eternity. As long as they keep sending me food, I'm happy. Sunshine Tidings. There's an option. Abernathy. There's not a lot to do with Abernathy, but we'll see. I'm not going to do that one this week, though. Starlight is massive. Although Outpost Zima is cleared, I don't even have a route set up to them yet, so we're not doing that. So, Vault Girl, hi! And Christian, good to see you. So this is the point where we try and come up with a next location to work on. I have some ideas for what I want to do with the castle. I have never done anything at Murkwater, so I have no idea what to do there. But I'm open to the suggestion. If we're going to do Murkwater, I'm going to need to go grab one of these settlers up here and assign them as a provisioner. I have no intention of doing anything with Bunker Hill, other than occasionally going there and seeing if they have caps for me. So, Castle, Murkwater, maybe Jamaica Plain. Or maybe Somerville. So, I think 4 is a good number to choose from. Yeah, Jules likes Sunshine, so as a matter of fact, we will substitute Sunshine Tidings for Somerville. So we have 4 choices. It is Sunshine Tidings, Jamaica Plain, Murkwater, or the Castle. And if you don't mind, Groucho, I will have you count the votes for me. Let's do a, yeah. We got 9 folks in here. Shouldn't take long for people to put their 2 caps in. Well, Jules, we are going to be mixed, but I noticed that we have an odd number of people viewing and an even number of potential targets. So some location will get more votes than the others. So far we've got 1 for Murkwater, 1 for Sunshine, 3 for the Castle. You know, from everything I've heard about Murkwater, I think that anybody who's voting for that just wants to see me stand in a swamp for a few days. Looking at you, Vault Girl. Looking at you. Okay, so Christian wants to switch to Murkwater. I will allow the changing of your vote, because we have not called the voting to an end at this point. So it looks like we have 2 Murkwater and 2 Sunshine and 3 Castle. Oh, and now we have 10 people viewing. That makes it an even number, but we still have outstanding votes. We have 7 of 10, and I suspect I might be one of the 10 people viewing, so I'm not going to be voting. Ah, Vault Girl trying to bribe me. I'm not above being bribed, by the way. I'm perfectly willing. Ooh. Murkwater seems to have suddenly pulled ahead. Oh, thanks for explaining that to me, Groucho. I didn't know who Sar was. But now that you've spelled out his entire name, I wonder how I could have been so ill-informed. No, VG, go ahead and bribe me. Yeah, send me cookies. I'll declare Murkwater the winner if it had no votes. If you got the cookies in the mail. Yeah, okay. Veronica's punching the Pip-Boy. Okay, we're gonna give the voting the opportunity to wrap up. Groucho, kindly take control of the voting, and I am going to quick travel over to the theater, because if Murkwater has won, now Jules is going to bring her boots too. Yeah, if we're doing Murkwater, I'm going to need to assign a provisioner. So I'm quick traveling over to the theater and assigning a provisioner. By the time I am done with that, I'm sure Mr. Snark can have all of the... Oh, look at that. You're unassigned. Let me find you appropriate headgear. Oh, I don't have one here. Do I have one with me? Uh-oh, Butch Cassidy. Normally, provisioners are required to have a mining helmet so I don't accidentally shoot them. No, that one's not wearing a mining helmet either, so I guess I can just accidentally shoot them.
Yes?
I'm not looking
Yes?
to talk to you. I'm looking to talk to you. You are going to move. No, you. You're going to move. You're going to love it there. Trust me. It's a great place. And now you will supply yourself to Oberland is the hub I use there. Excellent. Now, why did I do that? Now, Murkwater should be supplied. It is. Castle and Merc are tied. Merkwater it is. My official vote counter, Mr. Snark. I call on you to give me a ruling on the result of the vote. Assaulted by a single bloatfly. Wow. I was very precautious with this end of the settlement. I hope that this isn't the only place that has turrets, because these folks wander all over the place. Oh, speaking of wandering and stuff, what's their happiness like? It's going down, so let's just make sure that they can be good and happy. We'll put this right here for now. Obviously, you look like a tough bartender type. Come here.
Got it.
That'll increase the happiness around here.
Crop's been growing pretty good lately.
Yeah, that bloatfly definitely thought he was tougher than he was, that's for sure. So if I'm reading the decision correctly, the castle was up, but Merkwater seems to have won. I'll buy that for $1. What do I do? How did I get so zoomed in on this? Not what I intended. Merkwater construction site. Away we go. You guys are going to have to bear with me while I figure out what this place looks like, because other than killing the queen and claiming this place for myself, I have not been here. Help defend the checkpoint. Oh, pardon me. So, you guys just hang out here in the swamp and shoot at rad scorpions and mirelurks, huh? Whatever
Never even got to.
trips your trigger, guys. A 308 pipe revolver pistol. I would not want to fire one of those. I'll take it, though. Ah, thank you. So like I said, I have been here exactly long enough to kill the queen and claim the workshop, so I have no idea what this place looks like as for building goes. So let us empty my pockets of things I don't need to be wandering around with, like a 308 combat sniper rifle, 308 pistol, night vision automatic combat shotgun. Okay. That's my stuff. Oh, I just fought them in a summer dress. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, some daylight would definitely help. Let me find a spot to put down a sleeping bag, because I don't even think there's that much here. Here's an excellent place to sleep. Alright, take the shovel. And I think that sleeping bag's actually floating because it's on the edge of that wooden board. It doesn't look terrible unless you really stare at it. It appears to be as much daylight as we're going to get, so let's find out how much room we've really got to work with and what it looks like. It's a good edge to start from. I don't normally build very tall, so this is definitely more than high enough for me. I have one acrobat leg, so if I fall from here, I might not die. Alright, fairly small square compared to what I was expecting. Plenty of swamp, so the water is covered. I can put a purifier in here somewhere. The barn would be nice to finish as a building, but I don't know how well that's gonna snap together. And the house is what the house is. It's really wrecked. I wonder how good my scrapping mod is for handling things like that. Mutated fern produces food? Okay. My people want to eat mutated ferns? They're more than welcome to. I tell you, this is the, yes, debris is what I'm looking for right now. Not the house frame. Okay, so this grass is just not going anywhere. And as much as I like the fact that this house is a little bit different shaped from everything else, usually these couches can't be sat on. This one can, though. Okay. Yeah, as much as I do like the shape of this house, with the grass not being scrappable, put that there for now. I think we're going to do a quick save and see if there's actual terrain underneath the place where I can just scrap the house and we can build a new place here. So, quick save. Thank you for coming right away, Storm. Good. Swampy terrain underneath, so it's not like it's that would look silly to leave there. Just the ones that were on the wall, thanks. Okay. Oh. That would definitely get in the way. I don't need that car anymore. I like the busted up van, so I'm gonna try and preserve that. The loader. Might be worth preserving. Plenty of debris. Plenty of trees if I decide to start deforesting the area. Let's see, what is this? 2 barn pieces wide, or is it more than 2 barn pieces wide? So if I put a door on this, and then just a wall, it is too wide. It's just under too wide, isn't it? Naturally. No. Plywood will have to go. Oh, that's not even close to touching. Alright, weather. You gonna do this the whole time I'm here? Because this is the kind of torture that I've heard Murkwater is famous for. The constant the roof joists, which in this case really only provide the wood value anyway. I'm probably going to have to scrap the ones that are already assembled. And this board is going to stick out if I try and make that corner. But let's see. Oh, it does look like it's coming straight down that wall there, so. Aha! The board doesn't stick out because of how wide it is. That's good to know. Now we can have some water couch. Being we're going with the whole barn, let's that's a slight angle then, isn't it? Because if I was correct in my placement, this should have been in a spot where I could just shoot straight down the, oh, I don't have glass. Yeah, I should have been able to shoot straight down this frame, and I can't. So I'm slightly off angle. So let's fix that. Now, the most important piece is the very first. Because once we have this in place, the rest of the barn just slides to where it needs to be. Gonna need to move. I'm gonna have to do something to hide that foundation there. Cinder blocks will probably block that pretty well. Now, if I'm not mistaken, all these roof pieces are going to have to come out so I can put an actual roof in place. Gail, good to see you. Oh, there's my lovely daughter. And there's my buddy Patrick. Wow, everybody's shown up today. Yeah, I don't think I can put the roof on there with those joists. I can put them in there with the roof joists in place. That is nice to know. And sweetie, you wouldn't have to worry about not getting a chance to play after I'm done, because this is on my computer now, so you would have all the time in the world to play on the PlayStation. And there we have a decent start of a barn. Well, decent start of construction with a barn here at Murkwater. Now then, there is a house design that bounces around inside my head, and I'm not going to give a whole lot of explanation for where it comes from right away, but yeah, I think I'm going to be building with single cinder blocks. That's okay. But I have the desire to use the design that's in my head, and that spot where the house used to be here would be close to perfect for it. So let's just block that up right there. Something similar on this side. We're going to have to account for this corner. So let's do that. We don't want the rats and mice to get into the place, so I need to close off all these little holes. Because heck, we've seen how big the rad roaches are. Imagine what a freaking barn mouse looks like. Yep, that one's not all the way out. There we go. This one needs to be below. mooses. Let me guess, I'm trying to put it on the wrong side. Yep. No mooses, except of course for those that can figure out how to walk under the door. Oh, I put this wall over here. Oops. Okay. Alright, the house design that I was thinking is actually too large for the spot that I left myself. So I will come up with a different layout to fit the space. Wait a minute. What's that evil light thing up in the sky? This is Murkwater. Well, maybe there's enough room for the house I was thinking I was going to do. Let's just try and build and find out. Worst that happens is I'm right and it's too big. Okay, we're gonna start with a foundation. I want it above the grass height. And we'll put some stairs on it so that I can get up and down for now. Okay. So if I were to be walking in here, dum-de-dum-dum-dum. This would be fall off things. And yes, that's what I was looking for. And I will go back to this for this back here. Block that off. You know what? I need to buy some glass. Because I want it to look like it has some wasteland or some basement windows. Moonraven, good to see you. Hope that your weekend is off to a good start. The solid one is over here. Actually, I can take one of the solid ones from over here to put next to it. put the window over here. So now it looks like it's got a cellar. And back here we want it to have the appearance of a cellar. I can do that with this all the way on the inside. Whoa! Select the correct piece. Do not select the wrong one. Okay. So we have the foundations. Now let's start building some walls. Personally, I like the height of the barn walls. Oh, I'm gonna need to move that staircase because the door going to need the stairs. Yeah, I like the height of the I'm already running out of wood. Luckily, I've got a veritable forest here. I feel like the ceiling heights on the regular house wall pieces are really, really low. I'm going to try and leave some trees, and those look just a hair more alive than, and I mean just a hair more alive than the others. So let's leave those. We have a couple over here, maybe. Oh, there's a board. I can scrap this plywood if I need more wood. This one looks dead. Okay. And there's some boards in the back of this truck I can take. You're the next tree to go, so don't be needed. Out of glass already. Now this stair is going to need to move as well. So I can put a door. Get some more glass. I should have bought more from the start. Thinking solid wall and there. We will have floors. Because this is going to be a 2-story house. This one is going to also have a flat ceiling. It is not going to have. Is the regular wood stairs even close to tall enough to get to the floor? No. And that's actually a sort of good thing. Kind of. Because we do that. This is an actual house I've been in. Slightly altered for the game. Oh. Back to barns. Keep the floors consistent. I want... Oh, let's do the roof on there. Okay, I need the solid one first. Can actually just be a solid wall. Come on now. There we go. Excellent, excellent. Up here. Get a little bit honestly don't know if the game has all the roof pieces that I think I would need for this. So I'm about to be as surprised as anyone if they don't. But I'm pretty sure there's this roof piece that transitions for angles like that, so... Okay. I don't know. It might not have the roof piece I think it does there. I want to have a peaked roof. And we are 3 high. So let's start with the obvious piece. That's the wrong side. This is the right side. And that one goes there. And then the roof piece is the one that has the end on it. But I only want one end. And maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't think there's one of those with a, no, there's not one with the roof joist in it, so I'm not going to use those. Because they would look wrong. I'll get back to that one. If I do that, I need another one of these. I'm out of wood already. I told it not to need... I told the tree not to let me need wood. Now look what it's done. What does this look like with this piece? They match. Okay. And then the walls. This one would go over here. I'm not running out of wood again anytime soon. Thanks, Mikey. I appreciate it. How you doing today, buddy? Now then. In the real world structure, we have... No, let's use solid door. Solid door. And solid. Okay, get out there. That's the way I want that. Okay. Why it wanted to snap over the other pieces, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a floor... Helena, thank you for coming by. Happy to see you. Oh, Russ. I saw you were in a meeting. No troubles there. Thanks for coming. Now then. This is a slight variation because the building materials don't quite let me build exactly what it was. However, this is very close approximation to the house I grew up in. At least my early years. In the actual structure, the steps would have been centered on the what we called the front porch here. Then you had the living room directly off that, the dining room, and the kitchen. There actually would have been another wing over on this other side where the garage was downstairs and my parents' bedroom was upstairs. So that would have been a left turn right here. This would have been my room. This would have been the bathroom. This would have been my sister's room. And this actually would have been a little bit further back, about a half floor back. And the hallway would have just been this half floor wide. This door would actually have been directly across from the bathroom, which the door would have been here, because that was a closet that was accessed from inside the bathroom. Then this wall would have been, the door would have been here on this wall. This would have just been a blank wall to this door. So my door would have been right here across from the bathroom. And then my sisters had a room here, and my oldest sister had a room here. That was the house that I grew up in. And ironically, because there were 3 boys sharing the room, my parents gave my brothers and me the largest bedroom in the house, which, as the kids grew up and started moving out, became a luxury room for us to be in. So now, and of course, can I hang those doors so that they open in? I can. Because I would prefer them to open in. All the doors in our house opened in. That was probably the only one that I had correct from the start. Okay. So, ironically, in this build of the house, the room that was the largest in the house is the smallest. The hallway, which was narrow, is now wide. And my sister's lost a bedroom. Oh well. But this, and my parents' room is completely missing. But I think this is a dandy of a place to live. And the actual about half a floor would have been added out on this side of the to the back door of the kitchen. We had a half bath in there. So if I ever get the urge to actually build that place, I know that I could finagle it by overlapping pieces and generally mucking about. If I ever do build a closer approximation, I will share it with you guys. Probably not as a live build, but as a walkthrough. Because out of all the houses that I've had the privilege of living in, I actually prefer the layout of the house I grew up in. Go figure. I guess that's probably common for people. Now, in this instance, I am going to turn what was the bathroom into yet another bedroom because I do know here in the wasteland, I'm probably going to end up with more than just a handful of people here. Yeah, it's getting late in game, isn't it? Good call, Russ. Good call. And Mikey. Yes, alright. Everybody knows that the light was getting dark, except for the idiot who is actually working in it. I see. I hear you. And one of the things that always struck me as somewhat odd as an adult, not as a kid, because like I said, I grew up in that house. We did have a light in the upstairs hallway. But that light was only at the head of the stairs. So when you came up the stairs, it was there, but the far end of the hallway was still dark. And being I don't even have a generator here yet. A powered light will do nothing. The light, it does nothing. Maybe I'll figure out a way to make this into a bathroom. Of course, I'll need to dig through my mods list and see if I can find something that mimics plumbing so that it doesn't look like you're just pooping on people's heads as they walk below. Which I'm sure would be very amusing for the normal group of folks that we are, including myself. I am not picking on you guys unnecessarily. I am part of the group that would just snicker at the pooping on people. That's going to float below the ceiling level, isn't it? Well, it does look like it's attached. Nope, it does not look like it's attached. It would look attached right there. Oh, you know what? I can do this, though. That's better. I suppose I should go create some power. Yeah, you just don't like that, so let's swap you out instead for this one. Did I get that onto the peak correctly? Looks like I did. And of course, I cannot reach the one that I put there to hook to. That's there. And we need power to get up to that. So we're going to go inside and build a generator inside. I don't plan on doing anything that needs a whole lot of power here, so why don't we just use a small or a medium generator. Alright, we're on. I could see you a second ago. Now we have power, right? Because we have... Yes, we do. Everybody gets a lamp. Too far from the power conduit. That's close enough. Too far. Okay. So I need to bring power inside. It's coming in that corner. So let's put one... I'm going to do it on the outside. And I can't get close enough to it. Son of a... That covers that part. It's okay, hound dog. You don't always get to be in the room with your daddy man. All you want to do is come in here and lay down anyway. It's not like you want to come in and play or something. I wonder how close... Be nice if I randomly placed the one on that roof over there close enough to just automatically reach here without having to do anything funky. It is! Hooray! Plenty of light upstairs. light downstairs. And yes, my living room had a regular light. Overhead light. I shouldn't call it a regular light because most lights are regular. But, we very rarely turned on that overhead light in the living room. And the dining room had the fanciest light in my youth, which we don't have in game, but it was a almost chandelier. Alright, I'm gonna let the hound dog out. It is almost 2 p.m., so I am going to take this opportunity to take a break. 5 minutes, refill your drinks, take your potty breaks, get your snacks. I will be back in a few minutes. I ended up not needing 5 minutes. And it's a shame Mikey's already left. Take care, Patrick. The answer to Mikey's question was, if that's what he wants to call me, that's fine, but he's gonna have to be fetching my slippers and my newspapers. The other thing about my childhood home, the stairs to the cellar were under the stairs to the second floor. Gonna have to turn the object snap off on that. So in this case, we're just covering up the hole, but in the real world place, there would have been a door here that went down to the cellar, and there would have been a landing 3 steps down that went out into the garage. front porch had its own overhead light, which I think I'm going to replace the standing light here. Put that over here. That's not close enough to the, oh. I'll have to bring some power down the side of the house on both corners here. And we'll turn surface snap off again. This time we're going up into this cross of beams. I really wish they had wall switches in this game that you could walk in, turn the switch on, and have it do its corresponding light. That should be enough to bring this light on. It is. Same on the other side. We'll bring this light on. Actually, we can just... I didn't put it all the way in the corner, so it's going to go down between the window, but... ah, well. It's the wasteland. It's not Dreamland. And it sure isn't Disneyland. They do have... I thought there was a mod that might do that, Russ, but I wasn't sure. You and I can touch base offline and you can explain to me which mod does that. You may be saying, why do you not center that? I want to put my chair down and then move the table to it, because I'm never going to actually sit here. Pardon me. And I was actually the youngest of 6 kids when we lived in that house. So our dining room table was actually a little longer than this one is. And, you know, Mom sat at one end, Dad sat at the other, and each side of the table had the rest of us kidlies. Now, because the proportions are just a little bit off. Alright, the proportions are a lot a bit off. It's not quite the same as my home. But it is approaching. I bet I'm not in the right spot. Trying to... It's in decorations. It's one of the few times you will see me using a television here in Fallout. That's the closest they have in the game to the console television that we had growing up. The screen was maybe 25 inches, but the whole set, I mean, it was... I'm a little older than a lot of people. It was vacuum tubes and wiring and very few printed circuits. So, Mom and Dad each had their own chair to watch TV in. And I will give them each their own chair to watch TV in here. I'm actually going to separate them a little bit because, like I said, the room is not precise. You know, there's some things about this place that are not the same as my home was. It's just, I would have to overlap floors and put walls where they definitely would not want to be, etc., to make it work. So I'm just kind of winging it a little bit. And actually, if I get rid of this light, there is a, I just remembered, there is a light that is very similar to one that we did have in my living room. Now, ours was not quite this, wasn't quite like this. It was different. But it was a standing light, and it was very tall. It's crafting that I want. Okay, I'm gonna guess it's in containers. Refrigerators. Had the There's a lot of throwbacks in this game that I grew up with. I did not know. Cafe. I did not know that everybody didn't grow up with the type of TV I had, or the same. It was one of those things that I just thought everybody had the same stuff. All the people my mom knew had pretty close to the same things as what we had in our house. So I assumed that everybody had those things. And, for the most part, my friends' families all had the same things. It was very strange to me when, years later, I discovered that everybody doesn't have all the same things. Yeah? The first time I saw a television that wasn't a console TV, it actually threw me off a little bit. Because, like I said, my folks had one. All their friends wherever we went and visited, they had one. All of my friends growing up had one. And then in high school, we moved to upstate New York, and almost nobody in upstate had them. The few people I knew who had TVs in their rooms had little black and white tabletop TVs, and slightly larger tabletop TVs were in the living room. Although those were color by that time. In my house, my mom had a black and white TV in her room, and we had the color TV in the living room. And if any of the kids wanted anything like that in their rooms, they had to fend for themselves. And that was where I learned that I had a knack for electronics. Because, is that floating, or does that have a base? It does have a base, okay. I thought it did, but I wasn't certain. But anyway, I had a knack for electronics that enabled me, when my neighbors got rid of one of their black and white televisions that did not work, I was able to scavenge some parts that we had saved around the house from previous televisions. Specifically some vacuum tubes that... that's just ugly. I guess I'm just going to have the pipe inside the house. But yeah, we had some vacuum tubes that we kept from the previous television when we got the newer console television. And my folks kept a little shop in the cellar where we kept all that stuff. And Mom didn't care if I used stuff out of the shop to fix up the TV. And she honestly thought that I was wasting my time when I brought that beat up black and white television into the house, and I made it work anyway. Okay. Those are too high. So let's... get that down here. Is it both of them that are sticking up, or just the one? Oh, I know what I did. I was wondering why that was so smooth. I don't mind the beam sticking along the ceiling there. I accidentally put one of the door pieces there, thinking I was putting the broken wall. I don't want the potential settlers to have a problem walking on that, though, so... just a little lower. There we go. After the stream, probably either Groucho's or are you on a Whim's Discord? Either of those, I usually have both of them open and set to alerts. These folks have room for a dresser. Sort of. So yeah, when my big brother wanted a TV, he went and worked hard and saved some money for a TV, and then my big sister wanted one, so she went and saved money and earned herself a TV, and when I wanted one, I found a broken one and made it work. And to this day, I am still relatively convinced that the tube I put in... oh, I put in 3 different tubes. The third one whined quite a bit. So I'm not sure if the voltage was correct on that socket. But the TV did work, and the whining went away after about half an hour of the TV operating, so I was content with it. We have a living room, we have a kitchen, we have a dining area, we have a blank area that didn't exist in the real world, but that's because there are walls that I can't put in place. We have almost the same number of bedrooms. I think we have a house. We have 2 ways in, which, thanks to Sardeliac, I know it's somewhat important to the settlers to have more than one way with which to enter and leave a structure. Why does this... oh, did I turn off snapping? Yeah. And that snaps right through that. Will steps from the regular shacks snap to that foundation? No, they will not. This one would, potentially. I don't care how deeply it's buried. Nope, it won't either. And these won't snap on the outside here, naturally. So, barn floor, half floor. I can now put this on here. Still makes it all the way to the ground. It's not interfering. And I just need to support that. Alright, Jet. I will look for your post. Usually I wait about half an hour after stream before I do much of anything. Although my voice tends not to give out as quickly as it did when I first started doing this. Wow, this only snaps in one spot, doesn't it? No, it'll snap there. Okay. Still thrown off a little bit by the fact that I managed to fight the scorpions and the Mirelurks in my charisma gear. But I'll take it. Okay. Well, we are a little short, but I kind of like the idea of leaving a semi-complete-ish structure as the end point of the video. And as you guys may remember, I did stream last night. My throat is not super cool right now, so I am going to use that as a reason for calling the stream at 2.5 instead of the 3 hours that I had hoped to go today. A brief overview of what we have done. We just walked through the house that we just built, so I'm not going to do a recap of that. However, I will do a walkthrough of the newly refurbished barn, using the structure that was already in place here as the footprint. We have managed to put the barn into a relatively useful semblance of order. I put the sleeping bag here in the back of the destroyed van, which I'm hoping I will get to keep the van and the front end loader. Next week when we come back, I will... Oh, I'm going to have to put some kind of... Next week when we come back, I'm going to adjust the front porch here. We'll put some kind of... Well, steps will go off to the side over there, and we'll put some kind of deck out there so I can put a door on the front of the house. And we'll start addressing security needs, as everybody present does know. Mirelurks and potentially gunners will wander through here on a fairly regular basis. I want to thank everybody who came and sat with me for the last 2.5 hours. It's been a load of fun bringing you this building, as it is very close to the place I grew up, and it is a place near and dear to my heart. Sharing it with you has been a pleasure. I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope all your families are doing well. Take care of yourselves and your families. Ensure that you're getting enough rest. Nobody stays healthy when they're overtired or overstressed. And if you've got any furry ones at home, give them a hug and a scritch. It relieves a lot more stress than it sounds like. Thank you for sharing your Saturday evening or Saturday afternoon with me. I'll see you guys next time.